Good morning, YouTube. It's your boy Cook the Super Saiyan God. Welcome to the NXT TakeOver New York review. After what I saw last night, I'm highly doubting that WrestleMania will even come close. Not a single bad match on this card. Four out of the five of those matches you consider five-star classics. Like whoever decided to produce this show, you deserve a fucking raise and to be praised. Who this unnamed hero is. NXT TakeOver New York was absolutely fucking fantastic from the beginning to end. Match order was a little, a little somewhat. I would personally put the women's match after Riddle and Dream, but overall, there is nothing bad I can say about this show. This show makes me proud to be a professional wrestling fan. Everyone just did. This has to be, so far, this is the best show of the year. And I don't know how many times people are going to say it, one of the best takeovers that has ever happened. One of the best main event matches I have ever fucking seen. So I do got notes on this shit. I don't even know if I'll use it because me telling you what I saw does no justice unless you see this shit for yourself. If somebody asks me, oh, you like wrestling? Why you like wrestling? I will put this show on and tell them, don't say a word until the show is over. This match, this fucking show was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we gonna get into it for y'all right now. To open up the show, we had the War Raiders defending the NXT Tag Team Championships against Aleister Black and Ricochet. Now here's the thing that got me. The War Raiders fucking entrance was cold. These dudes had like a castle wall built onto the stage, and they had lit torches with fire on them. They had dudes drumming playing war drums. Two Centaurians on one side of the row, the other two sides on what's my man's name? On Hanson, wearing Centurion battle armor, doing the war chants. The smoke comes and these guys rise up out the smoke with these Viking helmets on and this armor. That entrance was fucking amazing. I will now want to see the War Raiders open up every takeover show if they're gonna do entrances like that. That shit was absolutely fucking amazing. Ricochet, he got a big pop because the Barclays Center is where he also defeated Adam Cole to become the NXT North American Champion. He got a nice pop. Aleister Black got a nice pop. Now, how this match started, I've noticed this with all these matches. These matches started really technical. Like they were filling each other out, going for wrist locks and seeing outmaneuver. But there was one spot I knew where shit got real, where stuff like this, he let him up. I'm like, oh, okay. And then there was another reference where Aleister Black had Rowe on the ground and he kicked Rowe dead in his shit. And Rowe was unfazed by it. When I seen that, I swear to God, it looked like some shit you see in Dragon Ball Z. Remember when Vegeta tried to kick Cell in the head and that's exactly what the fuck it reminded me of. And then after that, they gave each other that. I'm like, oh, this is going to be lit. This is going to be lit. So Ricochet gets tagged in and he does his vintage head scissors into a drop kick spot. And Aleister Black runs up the ropes, does his Ricochet does the whole springboard and they both sit Indian style in the ring. And the crowd automatically starts chanting NXT. Like the crowd was lit this whole fucking show. And this is where the start of it. This is where the show on it. The spot where Hanson, Rick, and Aleister Black in two sides of the corner of each of the parts of the ring. And he's running back and forth, body splashing one, body splashing the other. It was like this was tag team wrestling at its finest. And then one thing, Hanson was sitting on like the top of the turnbuckle. Ricochet scoops him up. You got to remember, Ricochet only 190 pounds. Hanson got to be about 323, somewhere in there. And Ricochet does a fall-away slam on Hanson. I'm like, this dude is a fucking beast. It was a fucking beast moment. And Hanson, of course, he did his signature springboard back elbow. Ricochet was selling the fuck out of these moves in this game. The crowd pops. They got "This is awesome" chants going on. There was a spot where Ricochet is getting pinned by both the War Raiders. I think it was from after that pop-up powerbomb spot. Aleister Black gets on the top rope and does a like coup de grace double stomp to break up the pin, to literally break up the pin. And then there was another spot. Rowe jumps out on Black with a suicide dive. Ricochet does a springboard backflip twisting onto Rowe. Hanson gets on top of the turnbuckle and does a seated cannonball senton flip and takes everybody the fuck out. Like, this match was chaotic as hell, but I'm like, this shit is awesome. So here comes the climax. Mass hits Aleister Black hits the Black Mass on Rowe. Ricochet gets on top of the turnbuckle and hits a beautiful shooting star press. This man bounced so hard off a rope, he must have landed, been elevated 3 feet off the air just from impact. Just from impact. Hanson gets back in the ring and tackles Aleister Black into Ricochet as he's pinning him to break up the pin. So after that, Ricochet gets caught with the fallout for the 1, 2, 3. The War Raiders retain the NXT Tag Team titles. This match was fucking amazing. This match was good. I think they went about maybe 19, 20 minutes. Told a great story. And there was some crazy spots in this match. Ricochet also attempted to do the 630 and he missed. Ricochet is great at selling. This man's fucking facial expressions when he's in pain, like he's completely baffled by what happens. But so post-match, the two teams show respect to each other. The War Raiders help them up. And the War Raiders, they leave the ring. Now, the Barclays Center going crazy. New York, you are fucking awesome. You guys make these events so much. You made this event so much better. I thank y'all for turning up for this event because that shit was lit. So at that point, Ricochet and Aleister Black are just looking at the crowd. Ricochet looked like he's about to cry. Now I don't know if he's about to cry because he like, damn, like he loves NXT and these other fans are really behind him. Now he had to leave them to the main roster. Either that or he was scraggling, like, I'm finna go to Raw and get buried. Or be stuck in catering or some shit. But yeah, the fans give them a standing ovation. They give a "You deserve it" chant. It was some really good shit. There was a lot of real feel-good moments in this whole entire show. This is what also made the show. Next, we got the second match. We got the Velveteen Dream defending the North American Championship against Matt Riddle. Right off of the fucking entrance. The Velveteen Dream comes being carried on a pedestal velvet throne dressed as the Statue of Liberty. He had the crown, the torch, like everything. Every time he makes a takeover entrance, you know it's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be an absolute spectacle. So the match starts out real like the locking up, just they just filling each other out and seeing who could get the better of who. Dream must have took a book out of Cassius Ohno's, took a page out of Cassius Ohno's book, and he did what Cassius Ohno did to Matt Riddle. He saw them bare exposed toes, and he stepped on them motherfuckers, and which I thought was hilarious. And it was a spot where Riddle caught Dream in a German suplex on the outside concrete of the ring. He continues to get some offense in with a lot of vicious strikes and an exploder suplex. He hits him with another German suplex for a 2 count. The Dream starts to get some offense in. He hits him with a Famouser for a 2 count. And then he busts out a Code Breaker. He busts out a Code Breaker for a hard 2. Matt Riddle kicked the fuck out of this move. Like, he kicked out so hard. He just nigga body turn. He got hit with that Code Breaker. And then it was a spot where Matt Riddle was getting him on those strikes, and Velveteen Dream hulked up and gave him the boot and boot, but didn't do the leg. He wasn't in like the Hulk Hogan attire like how he was at the last takeover. It was absolutely fucking fantastic. Now it was a spot where Matt Riddle was sitting up, Velveteen Dream goes against the ropes and tries to like hit him with a running knee. Matt Riddle dodges it and rolls him up into an ankle lock. Dream somehow fights out of that. But Matt Riddle grabs his other leg and puts it in an ankle lock. But Dream gets out of it. Dream hit, and then Dream hits him with that spiraling DDT, which I fucking love. That move is fucking awesome. Then looks like he was gonna go for a pin, but he didn't. He rolls onto Matt, gets him on his shoulders, and hits him with a Dream Valley driver. He goes to the top rope and gets ready to hit the Purple Rainmaker. He jumps off the rope. Matt Riddle catches him into a triangle hold and transitions it into the Bro Mission. Dream somehow gets out of it. He gets out of it. Then this was the best spot of the match. Matt Riddle has Velveteen Dream on the second rope, on the second ring rope, not even an apron, the second ring rope, and gave him a monster German suplex. That Dream almost looked like he was about to land dead on his fucking neck. The shit was absolutely fucking bonkers. I kind of figured this match was everything I was expecting it to be. This was everything I was expecting it to be. Dream throws in a few super kicks, tries to get some more offense in. Now, here's also what Matt Riddle did that I ain't seen him do before. He got on the top rope and did like a corkscrew moonsault onto the Velveteen Dream for a 2 count. Riddle goes for the Bro Mission again. Now, this is how you cannot deny the Velveteen Dream's character. The Velveteen Dream is always going to look at a certain strategy in which he knows it. He got put in the Bro Mission once. He was like, I ain't getting put in that shit again. He does it again. Boom. Dream rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. The crowd goes fucking bonkers. Bonkers. He retains the NXT North American Championship. This match was fucking amazing. So after that, Matt Riddle was just looking. Matt Riddle actually kind of seemed a little heelish in this match. Like in certain parts when he was giving when he had the ground spot, and it was like it seemed he was more heelish, and I'm like, Matt Riddle could probably pass as a decent heel. I have to see that in the future. Now, this loss to Velveteen Dream does nothing bad for Matt Riddle. It does nothing bad for Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle's still gonna, because like I said, Matt Riddle shouldn't be even contending for the North American Championship. To me, he's up at echelon and needs to be up there contending for the NXT Championship. But this was a great match, and Velveteen Dream needed this win. They made him now look like a credible champion, because the North American Championship is really just beginning hopping around after loss of Ricochet. Ricochet lost it to Gargano. Gargano lost it to Dream. So yeah, that title was made for guys like Velveteen Dream to hold down that mid-card area down. This was a great match. At the end of the match, Matt Riddle puts his fist out. Velveteen Dream looks at him and he gives him dap. It was good. That was just two. I'm like, what the fuck can you do after this phenomenal tag team match that we just witnessed in this North American Championship match? Only time. So now we get the third match of the card. We have Pete Dunne defending the WWE United Kingdom Championship against Volta. I'm going to say his name right this time. Volta. Walter's theme music is fucking dope as fuck. His shit sound epic as hell. He got a good pop. People actually started singing the beginning of the theme song. He was getting Walter chants. So when the bell rings, you get UK chants instantly. And this match, once again, started really technical. Started out with different locks and seeing who could get the best. Walter's a big guy. That's a big guy. Like, holy fuck. I would not want to be on the receiving end from anything. He done caught a few of them chops instantly. The match starts all real methodical. I would say Pete Dunne got called at least 4 big boots from Walter throughout this whole match. This is actually my favorite match of the fucking of the evening. Don't get me wrong, I love the main event, but this shit, they literally let these dudes go in there for 25 minutes and beat the fuck out of each other. And it was epic. It was fucking epic. It was epic as hell. Dunne starts to build some momentum. He goes on the top of the ring and does a outside moonsault that takes Walter out. and there was a spot where they were on the turnbuckle. Pete Dunne hoists all of 300 pounds of Walter for a sit-out powerbomb near count, and then goes down and then gets back outside of the ring and does a double coup de grace stomp onto Walter, and it's just like these dudes was not going. And then they have a slap exchange, and they just start wailing on each other. It was another great spot where Dunn had got completely destroyed by a half Nelson suplex from the top rope for a 2 count. I'm like, this shit is fucking retarded. Dunn starts getting on the fingers. He gets the finger bender thingy, but Walter gets to the ropes, so Walter was safe. He was safe. Walter also kicked out of the bitter end. I don't even know how the fuck Pete Dunne got him up for that move. Well, he got it on Wolfgang, but Wolfgang ain't 300 pounds. Wolfgang like 260, but still, he kicks out. Now, here's how the match ended. The match ended. Walter is on top of the turnbuckle. Pete Dunne is crawling up after. He grabs his finger, does the little finger snap thing. Walter fights through the pain and gives this man a jackknife powerbomb from the top turnbuckle. He threw this man halfway across the ring. He gets back on the top rope and does a big splash for 1, 2, 3. Walter is your new United Kingdom champion. And at this point, I want to know, what do you do with Pete Dunne after this now? Do you send him? Now, I don't think even though Pete can be on the main roster, I don't think he should be on the main roster. Pete Dunne should now be settled into the NXT roster, the regular NXT roster, where he can hang and contend for the NXT championship and have matches with Matt Riddle, the Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole. I would love to see him and Kyle O'Reilly lock up again. That match was fucking. Pete Dunne he's 25. He's not going nowhere. He's still young. You can still develop this guy down in NXT. Let him become part of the Full Sail roster and see where you go there. It might be a rematch. They might just continue to let these two guys feud for the title. But I don't know. But anyway, this match was fucking crazy. 25 minutes of sure ass whooping. And the crowd was not dead for one. It seemed they kind of slowed down in our next match, but it really wasn't all bad. Match was the fatal 4-way for the NXT Women's Championship. You got Shayna Baszler defending against Kairi Sane, Bianca Belair, and Io Shirai. So at the start of the match, the heels, Bianca and Shayna, they throw the Sky Pirates out the ring. They come back and get some offense, and they had a nice spot where Shayna got sandwiched between 2 drop kicks from Kairi Sane and Io Shirai. That shit was fucking funny. Shayna's going for her, normal methodical type of pace, and she hits. I think that was Bianca, or was it Io with the gut wrench suplex? Stomps on Bianca's arm. It was a part where they were outside of the ring, and Shayna grabs her braid. She grabs the braid of Bianca Belair. The strength of Bianca Belair. She yanks her braid, and I swear, go back and look at this. Shayna Baszler's face went smack dibbity dab right into the ring post. Like, it was no put that hands up. It was legit. I'm like, God damn, she took the fuck out of that bump. And she made that bump look damn believable. I was like, this was, I want to say this wasn't the weakest match on the card, but this match didn't have as much excitement in it as the rest of the other card. But it was still a pretty decent match for a fatal 4-way. There was another spot where Kairi and Io take, I believe that was Shayna's legs and flip them over on the top rope, and she's gut-wrenching Bianca Belair to the fucking canvas. That was a great spot in the match. It was another one where Io, everyone's on the outside. It was one where she was on the outside. Io does a second rope moonsault onto everybody. There's another spot where Io Shirai catapults Kairi Sane so small in the air and drops everybody. Bianca Belair does her military press spot and threw him on everybody. It was some really fun spots in this. Now I think this was the best spot of the match. The best spot of the match. Bianca takes both Io and Kyrie and puts them in the KOD and kills both of them. Legit. Killed both of them. Both of them they rolled out the ring. Shayna Baszler, being the methodical heel she is, she comes in and locks in the Karafuda clutch. Bianca Belair taps out. Shayna Baszler retains the NXT Women's Championship. Why? I don't know. I don't. And now I'm starting to think, like, does NXT even have faith in Bianca Belair as a champion? Because I personally think this would have been the best scenario to put the title on her. It was right there. It was right there. A lot of people were going for Io. I'm like, Io plays the perfect babyface to chase the heel champion. But I was like, where do you go from here? Where do you go from here with Shayna Baszler now she retains? She's basically beating all the top contenders. Unless you're gonna put Candice LeRae into this, so where she beats Shayna Baszler. I don't know. I think that could be the possible route. Because if Bianca's not getting that title, Io's not going to get the title. Io's supposed to win, or like unless you want Io, like, because the whole plan is supposed to. I had it in my mind like this: have Bianca Belair either drop the title. She could either drop the title to Candice LeRae or Io Shirai, and then you could have built you an Io and Kyrie thing. Them two little firecrackers on a one-on-one match for the NXT Women's Championship. Take my fucking money. But at the same time, they still a tag team. They're still a legit tag team. And I want to see them actually battle the Boss and Her Connection, Sasha and Bayley, for those titles. Because that's going to be damn good. Excuse me for a minute. You could have built it up to where she feuds with the other baby faces on the roster. Because you got to remember, they ain't really have any really top-level heels in the NXT Women's Division. Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne are absolutely worthless at this point. So they're not going anywhere no time soon. As a heel champion, you could have feuded Bianca with Mia Yim, Deonna Purrazzo, Chelsea Green when she comes back, Xia Li, Karen Hugh, Lacey Lane. It was just a few women in there that you could have actually built Bianca as a credible champion. Now, what does Shayna do? Because Shayna's long overdue for a call-up. The woman has been absolutely fantastic at everything she does. She ain't got to be that great she ain't that great in the ring, which is normally something I always look for in a professional wrestler. You have to be good at what you do. But Shayna is still good at what she does. She plays the fantastic role, and she's a dominant champion. I don't see if she'll even be called up. Maybe instead of being called up, maybe she'll have either Raw or SmackDown do what they did for Asuka. They'll be in talks with William Regal to the highest bidder, and maybe she'll just vacate the title. Because it seems like no one's going to beat her for this fucking title. Kyrie did it once. Ever since then, Shayna's been unfucking stoppable. Overall, this match wasn't exciting as the normal one, but I still liked it, and I was kind of disappointed at the result. Especially, and why did Bianca have to take the fall? Why she had to take the fall? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't expecting a clean tap out, but hey, it is what it is. I just want to know, what do you do with Kyrie? What do you do with Bianca Belair now? When is it going to be her time to be champion? Because the girl is definitely a champion. She's definitely a champion. I think her and got the match. Man, white boys love Bianca Belair. I remember in Phoenix when they showed, man, they was in there dancing to her theme music and everything. I'm like, hey, Bianca Belair does have a fucking dope theme song. Her theme song is fucking dope. That shit slams hard in the trunk. So now we got the main event. I can't even tell you what the fuck this main event was. We got Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the vacant NXT Championship. Johnny Gargano came out in attire that looks like the Iron Man suit. I'm looking at the color scheme. I'm like, and I'm starting to think, is Johnny going to pull a superhero moment? Oh, so another thing I want to add to the women's match, Shayna beat them by herself. She didn't even need Marina and Jessamine to even interfere to this. She did that all. And so anyway, but Johnny Gargano had the Iron Man. So like, is he going to be superhero in the match? because I was actually booking Adam Cole to win this match. But Adam Cole, who got a huge pop too, he always gets a huge pop. Once you get that shock the system, the crowd goes crazy. And it was a whole bunch of chants. And directly off that, there's a lot of chants for Adam Cole. They were really for Adam Cole in this match. But I'm not gonna say they wasn't against Johnny. Johnny even had his family out there. So the match started out, once again, technical, filling each other out, trying to outmaneuver one another. Cole called a slingshot DDT for a 2 count. I absolutely love that move when Johnny does it. I also love that slingshot fucking spear. It's a spear. We also call him that for another 2 count. The first part of this match actually went by really quick. Cole hit Johnny with 2 super kicks, one to the front, one to the back, and then caught him with a last shot to get the first fall. So that quick of the ring. That shit looks fucking brutal. It looks fucking brutal. So there was another spot where Gargano gets the second fall. He taps out Adam Cole with the Gargano escape. So it's 1-1. Now this is when the crowd started to come alive. There was another spot where Johnny took a page out of his boy Tommaso Ciampa's book, kind of with that spike DDT, and then gets back on out the apron, does a whole nother slingshot DDT for a 2 count. Cole hits Johnny with another super kick, and then drills him with a Canadian Destroyer for a 2 count. And when that turnbuckle assisted Canadian Destroyer Adam Cole's been now utilizing, Johnny kicked out. Then they get to the outside and they're on the announce table. Adam Cole takes a page out of Tommaso Ciampa's book and uses Tommaso Ciampa's finisher, the fairy tale ending, the double underhook face buster like move onto the table. Mauro Ranallo, oh my God, it was fucking hilarious. Mauro Ranallo is gold at what he does. He's amazing at what he does when he calls these matches. And so Adam Cole gets back in the ring. He's like, he tells the ref, start counting. So the ref start counting. Johnny gets up and gets back in the ring. He gets back and runs back into the ring. Now, Cole hits Johnny with another super kick for a 2 count. After that, Kyle O'Reilly and the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Roger Strong come to interfere. Kyle O'Reilly is distracting the referee. I think that was Bobby Fish comes and rakes the eyes of Johnny Gargano, and they hit him with that sweeping knee combination finishing move. Johnny kicks out. Johnny kicked out again. I was like, when I was watching this, I was literally thinking about Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles in the Extreme Rules match, where Roman took all that shit, took a Styles Clash off onto a chair, 2 Styles Clashes, one onto a chair, caught the Magic Killer from the Good Brothers and and the Boot of Doom, and this nigga still kicks out. This is what I was starting to think when I first saw that Iron Man suit. I'm like, I bet Johnny is not finna give up. Johnny's not finna go. The crowd is like lit at this point. So Johnny kicks out at 2. He goes outside of the ring, takes out Bobby Fish with a super kick. Runs up the barricade, catches Kyle O'Reilly, swings and kicks Roger Strong and DDTs Kyle O'Reilly. He levels the entire Undisputed Era by himself. Johnny eats 2 super kicks from Cole and catches another last shot. Kicks out. The crowd is lit. The crowd is so fucking lit. NXT chants. There's just ringing out through the whole Barclays Center. So here's the climax. Cole goes for another last shot. Johnny counters it into a Gargano escape into the middle of the ring. Cole taps out. The crowd explodes. Like, the crowd legit explodes. I legit I stood up. I did like yes. I was so happy to see Johnny Gargano finally get this NXT championship. Candice LeRae, I don't know where she was and what runs to the round to congratulate her husband. She hugs him. He gets up. He holds the title. He goes to the crowd, hugs his family, holds the title up more, sits there with the of a legit fan that had a sign that said Johnny Champion. So him and Candice right now, here's well, I love this ending. I loved this ending. Johnny and Candice are going up the ramp and on the top of the stage. And who comes out? Former NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa, wearing his neck brace, wearing his little neck brace. I'm like, and he just looked at him and he embraced him. It was such a feel good moment. And in the end, he raises both Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano's hands up, and all three of them just embraced. Like it was such a feel good moment. At the end of this show, I was legit smiling ear to ear. Overall, I have to give this show a 10 out of 10. There was nothing bad about this show at all. There's a few things that are going to be bad on WrestleMania. I can tell you that right now. Hell, the G1 Supercard tonight is most likely going to be better than WrestleMania also. But this NXT, this takeover was amazing. This was absolutely, if anybody it wants to be just to start watching professional wrestling, I advise you, watch NXT TakeOver New York. This show, aka NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 5. But this was absolutely fucking brilliant. This production was incredible. Like I said, the only thing that threw me off was the match order. Yes, I would have started the show off with the tag team match. As hot as that match was for 19 minutes, that shit was dope. Then I would have went, into Matt Riddle and the Velveteen Dream. Then I would have put the women on. Then I would have put the UK Championship on. And then we end the show with Cole and Gargano. Now, I was thinking if Adam Cole would have won this, I'm like, they probably will, or are they going to demote Johnny to the main roster? We haven't seen him on the main roster in matches in a few weeks, ever since Tommaso Ciampa got injured. So he had asked, can he stay in NXT another year? Because this story with Ciampa is not over. It can't be over. That right there was no kayfabe. Because I only say in storyline wise, Tommaso Ciampa will only probably trust Johnny Gargano to take care of Goldie, give Goldie a nice new home. And that was just a really feel good moment. That shit made me smile ear to ear. Johnny after all this shit Johnny has been through, he finally got it. He finally did it. He couldn't beat Almas in Philly. He couldn't beat Ciampa. But he was able to beat Adam Cole and finally become Johnny Champion, the real Johnny Champion. Like I said, I do this show no service. You sit down and watch it. Don't skip. This is the one thing I do like about NXT shows. The NXT shows, you don't see nobody on their phone when shit is going on. Everybody is literally invested into what's going on in that ring. And once again, a lot of these podcasts ain't gonna do no fucking review or even watch NXT. And I'm like, but you will review WrestleMania and talk about how bad it was, but you're not going to talk about how great NXT TakeOver New York was. Like, stop. Motherfuckers call it development. I don't look at NXT as developmental. NXT is its own brand. It has its own roster, its own championships. And most of these people have been wrestling for years. So what are they to develop other than the WWE style of wrestling and how to cut promos and shit like that? Other than that, NXT is really the only WWE program worth watching if you are a true wrestling fan. See, me, it gives me everything I want as a wrestling fan. What captured me as a wrestling fan back in the day? Character-driven storylines, decent booking, a little humor, some drama. I was literally invested in what's going to go down each week. NXT has that. Also, you have characters you legit are invested in, feuds that are built up incredibly, and when they finally get into those big takeover stages, you see another chapter or a closing chapter of these feuds. Some of you might have to ask questions on, some you don't. Like, I know, but Johnny Gargano was legit Superman yesterday. He took everything and kicked out. They made Johnny look badass in that. They did. They legit did. I really don't even know what else to say about this. I give kudos to everybody. Out of all this, if you see my pay-per-view predictions, you know that I only got 2 of these matches right. I only got 2 of them right. And that was the tag team match and the North American champ. I got the first 2 matches right. 2 out of 5 for me. That's all. That's what I actually was thinking Pete Dunne was going to win, but I guess not. I guess not. I was expecting Bianca Belair to actually finally get that title. I was. Trust me, Shayna Baszler was the least expected. I did not expect her to actually retain this title. I didn't. I did. And I was expecting Adam Cole to go over because I was like, Johnny Gargano could be the, like I said, I like when the baby face chases the heel champion. But this shit was absolutely amazing. Like, I really ain't got nothing to say to this. This right now, this is the best show of the year. April 5th, April. They gave us the best match, and most of these matches are legit are gonna be in my top 10 matches of 2019. 3 of these matches I can see on there. 3 of them. Half the show are matches of the year. And another thing, the tag team match was so fucking good. I'm like, why isn't this inquired into Raw and SmackDown? These tag team matches be lit in NXT. Perfect tag team wrestling. Almost everybody can get tag team wrestling right except Raw and SmackDown. Look at the match they gave us for WrestleMania. The Revival versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. The Usos in a 4-way. Be honest, I'm not excited about that shit at all. I'm not. I'm really not. Oh man, like I said, I can't do this no justice. That main event was fucking perfect. That main event was perfect. That right there, best NXT championship match I've ever seen. Yeah, would have put Andrade and Gargano in it from last year in Philly, but this match was completely just whoa. Like I said, I do no justice. Go watch the show. That's all I can tell you to do. Go watch this show. And probably tomorrow, if I'm feeling like it, I'll give you a review of the G1 Supercard. G1 Supercard is tonight. I will be in tune. But hope everybody enjoys their weekend. It's WrestleMania weekend. I'm your host, Coop the Super Saiyan Guy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell on for notifications in case you want some more content. And I'm going to get at y'all later. Everybody enjoy your Saturday. That's NXT TakeOver Predictions, y'all. And TakeOver New York review, y'all. Peace.